Inversions can boost your energy, your clarity, your mood, your motivation, your confidence, but only when your body and your nervous system are ready for them. So in this tutorial, we'll focus less on kicking up into inversions and instead cultivate breath, strength, and body awareness that actually make these postures therapeutic. So if you've ever felt stuck or frustrated in your inversion practice, or you're wondering if your alignment is helpful or harming, this one's for you. Reality is, inversions can feel really fun and playful, but first you need to work with them in ways where you can feel safe while you're building the strength and awareness that you need by remaining centered and stable, rather than kicking up, which can feel disorienting and naturally a little scary. And even worse than triggering fear or stress, if you're kicking up into headstand in particular, that is a cue that you need to build more strength to safely bear weight through your cervical spine. So many people injure their necks with sirsasana, and then they write off the posture altogether, when it's not the posture that's the problem. It's why, how, and when you practice it. So instead, I'll show you how to build your inversions in a way where you're developing your breath, your strength, and body awareness upside down, so you can feel safe upside down. And then you increase the benefits that you receive from these postures rather than risk injury or an overactivated nervous system. First off, to really be strong enough to safely practice sirsasana, you want to be able to properly practice chaturanga. And I say properly because we also know that chaturanga is often not really practiced properly, right? So we need the core strength and we need the shoulder strength to safely sit in a headstand. If you see the vertebrae running through the neck are quite small, and they aren't meant to bear the weight of our body. People who can do that, who are in headstand without using any upper body support, are lifting through their pelvic floor, through their core, right? They have that lift through the rest of their body, through the legs as well. Until you get to that point, which takes a lot of practice, we want to be safe with a sirsasana practice. To do that practice, if you really want to be upside down, practice pincha mayurasana, because then there's no weight on the head. So this is the way to practice it, and then I will show you how you can use this way to practice any inversion, including headstand, including handstand. And this way you're building shoulder strength, you're building awareness of your body in space and being upside down with the safety of the wall, without relying on the wall as a crutch, creating unsafe patterns. And we begin by sitting in Dandasana against the wall. And I have this cushion here. You can use whatever. You can just eye it, really, and marking where your heels are. And then coming into an Ardha Pincha Mayurasana, or into dolphin, taking your elbows to about where your heels are. And first setting up with your heels up against the wall. And you can feel into this for yourself, where you're pressing into your forearms, you're pressing down through your hands, the fingers are open, and already here, you're building strength that you need to safely practice headstand or sirsasana. You're learning how to breathe inverted this much. So the tendency is the breath moves up into the chest. So you're learning how to breathe with the diaphragm, even with this engagement through the shoulders. And then from here, you can take the feet up onto the wall. So you're in an L shape. The heels are lined up with the hips. And from here, if you want to take it further, you take one leg up at a time. Now this is where we're lifting up through the legs
active through the inner thighs, active through the quadriceps, keeping the breath with the diaphragm. So this happens where people just kind of let the leg swing out. The more you activate through the inner thighs, the more you activate through the core. And then you can change legs, come down. So that's option number 1. And I actually recommend that because there's no weight on your head. You aren't putting your neck at risk. And you'll find where you're at with that. If you feel like you really want to have your head on the floor, it's the same thing. Setting up Dandasana, I take the hands, the fingers pressed against each other. So rather than having this imbalance of one pinky underneath the other, the pinkies are pressed against each other. The head against the floor. And you can walk yourself in so you're set up in the right place, taking the feet in an L shape. And then from here, taking one leg up. It's the same thing. You see this? I can kind of hang out here, lift up through the legs, and you're pressing down through the forearms. So the shoulders are lifted up into the back. Release, resting to child's pose as needed. I'll actually demonstrate so you can see. I'll do my best to demonstrate the difference. Okay, so kicking. If you have to kick up, that means you have the strength. So when you have the feet against the wall, you're building the strength. You're building the awareness through the core, through the inner thighs, through the center of the body. So kicking up, however this happens, and then in doing this. You see this? Or just hanging out on the head. You see my legs aren't active. My core isn't active, my shoulders aren't active. I definitely feel this in my neck right now, right? So we want to press, even so much that you can press into the forearms, so much that the head comes off. That's how strongly you're engaged in sirsasana. You want to lift the shoulders up, draw the belly in, without hardening the belly, so you can breathe. And you can lower and control the motion to come out of it. It's the same thing with handstand, coming into a variation of downward dog and taking the feet up against the wall into an L shape. And it's the same thing, drawing the front ribs together, taking one leg up and lifting up through that leg. Doing this through both legs, drawing the inner thighs in toward each other, pressing down through the palms, sending the shoulders up into the back, keeping the breath grounded into the belly, and then resting as you need. If you want some easier, simpler ways to regulate your nervous system, especially if it gets overactivated when you're practicing inversions or any yoga practice for that matter, you can download my free somatic starter kit. I'll link it in the description. And I already have so many yoga practices here on this channel, so feel free to check them out and let me know if you would like me to incorporate more inversions into the yoga practices that I'm sharing. I haven't done so yet because I wanted to go deeper into these postures first. I'd love to hear from you, and subscribe so you can continue to receive new practices that I'm sharing here every week, right? Thanks for being here with me. I'll see you in the next practice.